I do want to add more clarity on Barcelona's financial situation, like what did happen over the past few months and what does that mean for the future. So to start things off, right, let's talk about the Nike deal that was announced back on November 2024. The total value for the Nike deal is 1.7 billion euros. That is going to be taking place between 2024 until 2038. So it's a 14-year deal. And once again, that 1.7 billion is going to be spread across those 14 years. So between 2024 and 2028, Barcelona will receive 108 million per year. Between 2028 and 2038, Barcelona will receive 120 million per year, which is going to equal at that time to Real Madrid's current Adidas deal. And there is also a signing bonus that Barcelona and the Nike company agreed with, which was 158 million euros total. And that 158 million is going to be spread across 14 years. So per year, Barcelona will receive 11.28 additionally, which is really good, right? Average annual revenue is going to be 120 to 122 million per year. It's a huge upgrade from the previous deal that Barcelona had, and that was also led by Bartomeu, because previously Barcelona were only earning 40 to 60 million per year, and it often did drop to 33 million euros due to poor performance clauses that were being implemented. And of course, when we speak about Bartomeu's FC Barcelona, we were very poor in terms of performances, and we were not exceeding expectations, and we lost a lot of money. So this deal between Nike and Barcelona, it does provide financial stability with guaranteed revenue. There is no special clauses where, like, if we perform badly in one season, we're going to be dropping to a specific amount. It's guaranteed revenue, and it's regardless on the on-pitch performances. And it also does address past issues of revenue validity under Bartomeu's performance-based deal. It was insane how Bartomeu led FC Barcelona financially, but with this new deal with Nike, Barcelona will be going down the correct path. So in terms of the negotiation dynamics and strategy, the initial offer that Nike held to us was 66 million euros. And Joan Laporta was like, no way, 66? Like, okay, I understand that you guys used to pay us 40 to 60, but 66, we want a bump. Like, this is not going to do anything for us. And so at that time, when they were renegotiating between September, October, November, Joan Laporta put a pause on those negotiations because after Andreas Christensen's injury, he did use the La Liga Rule 77 in order for the other players like Dani, Olmo, and Pau Victor to be registered. He was reliant on the Nike deal. And that was one of the reasons why at that time we're like, when is the Nike deal going to be finished? Because we need to register these players. But the fact that Nike offered 66 only, Joan Laporta was like, okay, let me pause this. Let me go back to the La Liga Rule 77. Okay, look, we have Christensen injured. Now we're going to use this and negotiate our way towards having Olmo and Pau Victor registered within La Liga. So it was temporary registration solution for the club. But the final outcome after Joan Laporta went back and fixed everything between Christensen, Dani, Olmo, and Pau Victor, he went back to Nike and he said, okay, we have that settled. We can take our time. We don't have to depend on you guys for us to register Olmo and Pau Victor. Let's take our time and let's renegotiate. And so they took their time. They renegotiated the final outcome, and it was a total of 122 million euros. So they tripled the Nike initial offer. Joan Laporta did that alongside with the other financial experts. And I don't know what they did. I don't know what they said, but I'm assuming that Joan Laporta said, hey, look, like, I can guarantee you guys that with the way that Barcelona is going to be going, with our performances and how well we're going to be as a brand and how people are going to be viewing us, I can guarantee you guys that we will reach the top. Hansi Flick will reach us to the top. Barcelona is a strong brand. Just look at us. Everybody wants to see us. And so maybe things like that could have taken place. Of course, it's way more complex than that, but the fact that you have tripled the initial Nike offer, it is insane to me. Now, there were tensions, obviously, but Nike were like, we don't know, like, we're a little frustrated because why are you guys taking your time, and why do you guys want to triple the offer of what we were trying to give you guys? We don't even have to do this, right? Maybe you guys can go to Puma or whatever. And that is what we heard, that Barcelona might go to Puma or Nike or wherever. But in the end, Nike just accepted. And I believe that for Nike, it's going to be a huge return in revenue. And like in the long run, because if we talk about the Barcelona that we know today, it is a Barcelona team that a lot of people inspired to be, with players like Pedri, Yamal, Gavi, Frankie, Jules, Koundé, Barsi leading the helm, Alejandro Balde. This is a team that you can stand on, and a team that will be together for the next 7 to 8 years, guaranteed. I mean, look at the average renewal offer for all of these youngsters. It's up until like 2028 to 2031 with Yamal as well. 2031. It's insane. So maybe that could also be a reason why Nike said, okay, we will agree with this long-term relationship and we'll give you this type of amount, because we believe that you guys will return this type of value to us. So there was other like complexities. For example, like Nike takes bigger control of the BLM operations. It's one of the gifts that Joan Laporta had, and he said, okay, look, if you agree to this and you agree to pay us this certain amount of 122 million per year, we'll give you more control to the BLM operations, which includes product design, supply chain, and global retail. And you know, the BLM generates 179 they generated 179 million in 2023, which was Europe's highest. And so Nike were very glad to take that offer. So stepping away from that, right, let's talk about the financial impact and the La Liga compliance that Barcelona has to go through, because the context here is very important. Let's go to September 2024, because this was the latest in terms of Barcelona's salary cap problem. La Liga gives every club a salary cap, and this is the total amount that you can spend on player wages, coaches, staff, etc. We all talked about this and we know about this, right? So Barcelona's limit is 426 million euros, but Barcelona is currently right now, and what they have been doing in the past 7 to 8 months is spend 60 million euros more than that given limit that that La Liga gave us, meaning that we were over the cap. And what made things worse was the fact that Barça Vision, something that we wanted to sell, whatever company that was willing to give us a certain amount, they never gave it to us. And Joan Laporta and all these other people were really depending on the Barça Vision investment. It was one of the club's biggest business projects. It's related to like the digital content, NFTs, metaverse type of things, but they had to take this as a write down. Meaning that the Barcelona, they said, okay, this is going to be worth 120 million euros. We're going to be using this cash injection to really uplift our squad. And this was all taking place like 7 to 8 months ago. But what they found out was that this whole thing, the Barça Vision situation, was either worth a lot less than they thought, or maybe even just worthless. So that is the reason why whatever company was originally willing to spend 120 million euros on Barça Vision, no one wanted to pay that amount. And so when you combine the fact that Barcelona spent more than 60 million euros on top of their limited wage bill, and the fact that they lost money on the Barça Vision investment, they had a deficit of 120 million euros at that time, and that made it even harder for Barcelona to register new players or renew contracts under La Liga rules. So we had a 120 million euro loss, and there was a lot of work to be done. So Barcelona were already spending too much, and they also lost too much. But here's the thing, because of the Nike deal and the financial impact that it had, there was a 40 million euro increase from the old Nike deal, especially with the 9 million euros that we were given through the signed-in bonus. The total revenue was 49 million euros. So the gap remaining because of the Nike deal, right after the Nike deal, the gap remaining after that in the salary cap was 71 million. So it was not that bad thanks to the Nike deal. So all of this could have been fixed if Barcelona successfully sold the Barça Vision. And the Barça Vision situation requires a 120 million euro injection to stabilize the finances. And so as of now, like as of May 2025, they're seeking investors, something that they were doing back in August, September, October, November 2024. But the club is confident that no player sales will be needed from January 2025, and they still say that today, because they believe that the Barça Vision situation will be finalized and completed in the coming weeks, and is likely going to go down in that way. Now, in terms of the current financial position, right, and knowing, once again, that we went 60 million euros over the wage bill, and we also cannot finalize the Barça Vision situation, the fiscal year ends on June 30th, 2025. So that is literally in about a month from right now. Now, Nike's contribution is 108 million euros base with 11.28 in signed-in bonuses, which is in total 119.28 million euros that Barcelona will be receiving. The remaining salary cap gap is still 71 million euros. If Barcelona, right, complete the deal with the Barca vision and they sell it for 120 million euros, for sure that's going to cover the gap that Barcelona have, which is 71 million. We do not need to sell any players. This is the reason why if we sell Barca vision for 120 million euros, we don't have to sell any players. And this is the reason why Joan Laporta stated that we don't have to sell anybody. We are in the 1-1 rule because we are very close to finalizing the Barca vision situation. You also combine the fact that Barcelona over the past 4 to 5 months have generated more than 45 to 50 million euros in the Champions League because of our showings, because of how deep we went into the tournament, and all the other money that we have gained through La Liga. Barcelona is in a much better financial situation going into the end of the fiscal year. I'm gonna give out 2 different scenarios. Let's go with the optimistic route and the pessimistic route. Let's say that everything goes well, right? The optimistic and most, I would just say for sure way that Barcelona is going to be going through. First, Barcelona secured the Barca Vision investment. Everything is well. We have gained a lot of money through the Champions League. We don't have to sell any players to bring in new ones. That's good. We can follow the 1-1 rule. We sign whoever we want. We can end the Olmo and Pau Victor situation permanently and register them permanently. And in the end, Barcelona will have a transfer budget of 50 to 75 million euros. That is going to be the projected amount. This is the reason why Barcelona is looking at Luis Diaz or Nico Williams or Jokeres or whoever, is because they all fall into that amount. And they're going to be able to avoid any player sales. And that's the reason why Barcelona are renewing a lot of the players, because they can afford it. Now let's go into scenario number 2. Let's just say that things don't work out, which I don't think will happen. But this is the pessimistic route that we're going to be taking. They only secure maybe 50 million euros for the Barca vision, which is like a partial investment. They couldn't sell it for the original agreement, which is 120 million, and the gap remaining is going to be 21 million, still over the salary cap. Barcelona will still be stuck in the 1-4 rule, meaning that for every dollar that they make, for every $4 that they make, they can only spend like $1 from those $4. So that would mean that Barcelona would have to sell players that they don't want to sell. So for example, it could be Frankie de Jong for 60 to 65 million euros. It's going to be a headache, and Barcelona will not be able to maneuver as well as they want to. But the likely outcome going into the summer of 2025 is that, based off what the club sources have been saying, that they're very confident in the full investment, that the VIP seats that are also going to be sold, the Champions League appearances, all that bonuses and the money that we have made, is all going to contribute towards us ending the fiscal year in a very strong way. The track record on solving financial issues last minute is really good in terms of when we talk about Joan Laporta, that's Barcelona. Everything always gets sealed in the correct timing, and that is going to be the ultimate conclusion. The Nike deal is a crucial milestone that did fix short-term problems back in November, but going into the summer of 2025, now we're going to be depending on the Barca Vision situation. And while I know that at that time, the Nike deal was not enough, and that alone was not enough to solve all issues, it did buy us time and enabled better planning. I can for sure tell you guys that Barcelona's future remains, at the moment, fragile but manageable, thanks to Joan Laporta's deals and Flick's early success on the pitch. And so we'll see how things do turn out. That is it. That is going to be wrapped up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.